Hi, friends. Welcome to another podcast episode. Today, it is just me, which is crazy because we've had so many guest episodes and then so many guests going in recess, the exclusive version of our podcast just for summer school, the community members, which if you aren't a member, go ahead and go subscribe. It is so good. We have classes from educators from all over the world. We have recess episodes dropping what feels like almost weekly. It's crazy. And then we also have a super engaged community with members, again, from all over the world. So go ahead and pop over there. But today, it's going to be a solo episode because I haven't done one of these in such a long time. And I thought it'd be worth giving you guys some life updates and then diving into our little mini topic today, which isn't even really a topic, but I'm just going to be talking about what the last month has really looked like in my life and the fact that I taught at a retreat recently that was so good. And I thought it could be fun that one of the people that was a part of the workshop wrote down the questions that attendees had asked me during the Q&A of that workshop. So I thought we would read some of those and then I would explain my answers again for all of you. So come along with me kind of for a Q&A per se after we chat about what's going on in my life. So if you've been a long-time listener, you know that I never really thought I'd move back to Washington, which is where we came from a little over 2 years ago. And while I'm filming this right now, it is literally the last day in this setup, probably. I'm going to start tearing everything down tomorrow because we leave in less than a week. I think at the point that this will be airing, I will be on the road back to Washington. So we're moving back, which is crazy. And who knows, maybe we'll come back to LA one day. I genuinely have no idea. But in case you're curious, all of this came about literally within the last 2.5 weeks. So within the last 2.5 weeks, we have decided to pack up all of our belongings and move back to Washington, which is crazy because we have a 9-month-old child right now. So a lot of people are probably thinking maybe it's for photography, maybe it's because we have a kid and family is there. And while my husband does have some family there, it's actually not for that reason. My husband used to work at a recording studio back where we used to live, and we're actually moving back because we have the dream to originally when we had the dream, we were like, let's do it right now. But I think it makes the most sense to get there, see how we feel about it. But we have the dream of buying the recording studio he used to work for. So that's crazy. I could be managing another business that's not this one in the near future, which is wild. But I think it'll be so cool for him. I mean, if you're a musician, or you know someone that's a musician, you're listening to this, that's a musician's dream to own and run a recording studio for your full-time income. I mean, that's crazy. So fingers crossed it all works out, but I just felt like we couldn't make any progress in that world living in LA when the recording studio is back in Washington. So full send. We didn't want to wait until the winter and have to hire a moving company because past October, a lot of the mountain passes to get up there are going to get snowed over. So we looked at our schedule. I leave for Italy in a week and a half to teach at another photography workshop. And so we said, okay, we just it's now or never. It's now or next spring. And all the right things fell into place. And even a house fell into place. So we're literally moving in 5 days from today, which is crazy. So we move up October 7th. And I think that's actually when you're going to be hearing this. So that's wild. And for reference, we changed health insurance plans last month because we didn't think we were going to be leaving. I was talking with insurance yesterday and we changed the health insurance plan September 8th. And we had no plans on leaving LA ever, literally ever. We started mounting TVs this last month, doing all these baby proofing things. And then, literally October 6th, we take the drive back up to Washington. So life moves fast when you're having fun. My life is crazy. Ask me how I'm doing in 3 months. But I mean, it's been a really good time at the same time. Summer school has been growing, which is my second child, outside of my actual child. Summer school is everything that I'm giving most of my energy to this fall. So it's been so much fun to help so many photographers and help them grow both in skills and in community. And that's what I've been focusing a majority of my fall on. I'm taking a peeling back from weddings just a little bit so I can devote the energy that platform needs, at least for this season, into it. And it's been so good. I'm guest teaching at a ton of like workshops and even some conferences next year. And I just got back from teaching at a workshop called Camp Cinematic. It was so much fun. It was like in the redwoods. So all of this even going to show how the move is aligned, like getting to go shoot in the redwoods and shoot in scenarios that look like the Pacific Northwest before the move, when the move wasn't planned, was like great for my marketing materials for my business on, shooting and in photography. But as a person, it was so fulfilling. I don't even know how I could tell all of you or make it make sense, but literally at the airport flying out after the workshop, I do not cry that often, like literally ever. Like maybe like twice a year. I'm just one of those people. And I get to the airport and I call different people to tell them about the workshop and about how much fun I had and about how fulfilling it was. And I literally cried like 3 different times in the airport, just reflecting on like how beautiful it was and how special it was to me to like be around other photographers for a full week and be helping them and helping them grow. It was literally like life-changing for me. It was beautiful. So I taught at that workshop a class called The Art of Business, and we talked on so many things. It was probably over an hour long. I talked on like diversifying your income, on scaling, on outsourcing, on client experience. Oh man, softwares and systems, literally so many things. And it was such a good time. So I have notes on the Q&A that those attendees asked me. So that's what we're going to be chatting about in this episode. But if you want to know about Future Me is teaching at a workshop in Italy in a week and a half. And then I get back, fly to LA to finish up a shoot or two, go back to Tacoma, do some minis for some past clients, and then I fly to Arizona to guest teach at a different workshop, and then I fly to San Diego to guest teach at a different workshop. So October, November is kind of crazy, lots and lots of teaching, and based off of the last workshop I just did, I know that this is going to be so much fun. So stay tuned, stay posted in the stories to see all the wild adventures, and hopefully it'll also bring a lot of cool content over to Summer School, the membership, because every time I teach, I'm like inspired about new things that I hope to bring in there as well. So let's go ahead and dive in to this Q&A because I talked on so many things. I talked basically about everything revolving around business outside of marketing. So it was a business class, so there was nothing too specific, but they asked lots and lots of questions. So one of the questions asked was, what was your first step in diversifying your income or portfolio? Your income, / portfolio. My first step, this person also wrote, shout out Todd. Todd, if you're listening to this, shout out Todd. Todd was an attendee of camp and he helped me so much. Just, running my slides during my talk and writing all of this down. I'm like, you're hired. You're coming everywhere with me. But what was my first step in diversifying my portfolio or income? And he wrote my answers. So I said education, helping others create and letting them do what they love. Education was one of the first things I did to diversify my income and kind of scale. But I also did test out having an associate and maybe like growing a larger team in and of photography. But I personally just didn't feel like it was a good fit for who I am as an artist. I didn't love sending someone else out to do my job, but everyone wanting me. And it just like didn't really fit for the type of business I created that was built on like art and uniqueness and photos that maybe they couldn't get with someone else. While I think there's a world, because how we did it, we had worked together and she was so talented. I think there's a world where I could do it. It just wasn't the way that I personally wanted to scale. There's so many ways you can scale. So that while I tried it, wasn't necessarily the world for me, but I loved teaching other people how to do what I was doing. So education was the way that I first started diversifying, but I think good things for other photographers, and one of them listed was that I'm currently trying out mini sessions. I'm like, hey, why not get an extra couple thousand, 5,000 to 10,000, depends on how big you want to go with your minis, to work with In my case, I'm only opening it up to past clients, to work with past clients and become their legacy photographer, their photographer they use for years to come, to watch their kids grow up. That's so freaking cool. Why not do that? So that's what I'm currently doing, diversifying in the way of like opening up mini sessions. And, I just did a like commercial gig for a brand in the industry. So I did some like, maybe you'd say branding, but kind of commercial photography. They'll own the rights to it and stuff. And then, I'm going to shoot for like a fashion designer when we get back to Seattle. So I am diversifying in the things that I shoot only because I find that fun. I find that really fun. And when it comes down to sustainability, you have to enjoy what you're doing. So even if I'm not going to share every single photo from these different shoots, I really love just challenging myself to try new things, try new forms of photography. I just recorded an episode that's going to air after this one with a girl named Christina who shoots concerts. And she was like, hey, maybe you can come shoot the concert that I'm going to be shooting in LA in November. And I'm like, man, I won't live here anymore, but maybe, I don't want to get into that world, but I think you can learn so much from trying different types of photography. But another way I personally think you could diversify your portfolio or your income would be, things like album sales, like print sales, really amping up your print sales, your album customizations. You could second shoot for other photographers. The list could genuinely go on. You can make money in so many ways in your business. And I think only doing it from a physical labor type of job, like what I mean by that is the only time you're making money is when you are leaving your house to go physically take photos. I don't think that's a super sustainable career. And while I do think most photographers are going to have to do that because we are a photographer, I think you should have systems in place to have some sort of way that you could still passively make income so that if you ever needed to take a break, your business can still survive, even if you need to step back for a minute. Okay, the next question. How often do I use Flowdesk? So I recommended email marketing, and there's actually an episode coming out about that also coming up, I think, in the next week or two. So I mentioned that email marketing is like really essential to passive income and to scaling, and even for so many different parts of photography businesses. And they were asking, well, when do I use Flowdesk? When do I use email marketing? And I actually admitted that like I mainly started using Flowdesk when I started in education and in teaching photographers, but one of my biggest regrets is also that I wish I had started when I was serving clients and maybe had an opt-in button on my inquiry form so that I could have everyone in an email list and have segments of these are my Washington clients, these are my Oregon clients, these are my LA clients. That way when I need to communicate with them, I'm not going into Honeybook or your client managing system and like custom emailing every single person, but I can send a mass email of, hey, I'm going to be in LA during these dates, like feel free to hit me up. Let's schedule a session. How nice would that have been to automatically segment and qualify that client instead of needing to like think, oh my God, that client I worked with 5 years ago, where do they live? I think they live in Oregon. Let me hit them up. That's just not realistic. And so even for that point alone, I wish I had been using an emailing software sooner, and for so many other reasons outside of that. But let's see. Next question. This is so funny because he really wrote notes. It's like general rambling. Can you speak on moving your packages from hourly to an up to type mindset? I've had clients push back on less than full day packages. I don't know if I understand the second statement, but can you speak on moving your packages from hourly to up to? So my packages are currently all inclusive. They are day rates up to 12 hours. If I'm there for 9, I'm there for 9. If I'm there for 12, I'm there for 12. That's just what aligns with me as an artist. And normally people don't only need 6 or 8 hours that are inquiring with me. And if they did, maybe I would make them a custom package. But for my average client I'm attracting, it's a full scale production. So I'm going to be there for at least 10 hours anyways. So I don't want them to nickel and dime and choose between like a 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm going to be there for their full wedding. It really doesn't matter how many hours it is. I will be there. I will document the whole thing. I love it because it just feels more fulfilling. And it is harder to sell. So I explained a little bit about my packages, and then I told them, if you're looking on a way to sell it, you can tell the client, hey, I don't want to be there for part of your wedding. I want to be there for the whole thing. And the other person they're inquiring with, if it's in the similar ballpark as you, they're going to end up spending a similar amount or more between the different add-ons and the sales of a hourly 6, 8, 10, 12-hour package. So if you can sell them on why this all-inclusive, relaxing experience is better, normally a client is going to understand that and be like, wow, that's so simple. That's so easy. It's so easy to say yes to. Like, let's freaking do it. So that's kind of the inside scoop on my up to. Also, side of the industry, if you are in a more budget side of the industry, maybe a all-inclusive package like doesn't make the most sense, or maybe you have it as an option within your hourly options. But if you are trying to move a little more high-end and you want to approach a more all-inclusive rate, I think it's really smart, really simple, and I think that type of client really values it and doesn't value being nickeled and dimed and being upsold like, oh, 1 hour, it's going to be this much more. It's like, no, just give me how much my wedding's going to cost. Someone asked if I'm ever open to shooting for free, which is yes. I'm always open to shooting for free. I built my entire career off free shoots. Let's be real. I feel like you need to make sure that whatever free work you're doing is going to align with the clientele that you want to book. I think that's really essential. You don't want to just work for free because your cousin needs their wedding shot. That is not a reason to work for free. But if you want to grow your portfolio and you want to attract a certain type of clientele, or you just want to create because we need to create for ourselves and for our own inner artists and we need to grow and be inspired, then freaking go shoot. Not everything needs to be for money. And some of my best work has been work that's been for free, and that work has been the reason I had been booked out for years, because people saw that work, they related to it, and it was something deeply personal for me. So I marketed it really well because I believed in it and I loved it. So yeah, if you're going to do a free shoot, either make it something where it's going to fulfill you so much artistically, or it's going to align with not just the client you want to shoot now, but the client that future you wants to shoot. That's always good advice I try to give people, because I think oftentimes we set up shoots for like where we are in our current stage. We need to set up shoots, especially if they're free, for where we want to go. If you want to pivot into a higher end side of the industry, don't do a free shoot out in nature. Go do a free shoot at some iconic venue where you're collaborating with like a florist and a high-end wedding planner. That's the kind of free shoots you want to do. Or go take photos of a luxury wedding planner's like family for free because you want to build a good relationship with that person. That's the kind of free work we need to be doing, or, just creating for ourselves. And that work might not ever even see Instagram. And that is also totally okay. You don't need to only create for Instagram. You need to create for yourself, for your own artistry, and obviously for your business as well. Okay, let's see. Someone asked how many images I roughly deliver because I shoot hybrid film and digital. I guarantee in my contract digitally roughly 50 to 100 edited images per hour that I am there. So if I'm there for 10 hours, then, a minimum of 500 to 1,000 photos. On average, though, I would say I normally actually deliver anywhere from 800 to 1,400 images a wedding. I don't overshoot. I think overshooting is like really popular and cool, and a lot of people do it. I've seen people saying some wild numbers that they deliver on weddings. I don't personally think, I obviously maybe overshoot compared to some, like some people 1,200 might sound like a lot, but I've heard numbers of like 2,500, 3,000 photos. Even on multi-day events, I don't think I've ever gone over 1,500 photos, but then I'm delivering film as well. And the average film gallery is anywhere from like 100 to 500 photos, maybe more, maybe less. It really just depends on the wedding. So yeah, I think what I deliver is pretty standard, but if it's not and you have any thoughts and you want to DM me about it, hit me up. I will always be willing to chat. Let's see. Thoughts on including an estimated budget in your inquiry form. I actually just added this to my inquiry form, and I love that I added it. So if you don't have it, you might as well experiment with adding it into your inquiry form. I feel like in my current stage in my career, I really enjoy knowing that information, because if it is really low, I can evaluate, yeah, that's absolutely not going to work, but maybe it's something not too far off from my packages, and I could either take a call with them, see if they could budge a little, or send them a really good recommendation. But if it is high or higher than my average package, then we can hop on a call and try and create like a custom package. I think it just gives you so much more knowledge and say when it comes to the way that you email them and whether you're going to send your pricing guide or not. Do you want to hop on a call with them first, create them a custom package instead of sending you their guide? Is it a lower budget and you're just going to send your guide and, see if they want to hop on a call after? I think when it comes down to sales, knowing that information is like so special. So yeah, don't be like me. I just started doing that like a month ago because I was like, man, I just kind of want to know this at this point in my career. Like, it's information I need to know because I'm not trying to take that many weddings. And once I started seeing that information, I was like, yeah, I should have been asking for this all along. Like, literally should have been asking for this all along. Biggest regret. Not really biggest, but big regret. Go ahead and ask. Why not? What's the harm? There's literally no harm in asking. Okay, let's see what other questions we have. Have I ever considered adding video or film, not film photography, but like filmmaking, video, cinema? I have never desired to add video because I'm not a videographer, and I never dream to be a videographer because it's so hard. Even trimming like a little clip for summer school, I'm like, oh, no, don't want to do it. But I did say in the talk that I think that is a great way. If you're thinking diversification or extra income, that's a great way to do it. People love a good bundle package. People love a photo video team. So if your significant other is into videography, like a lot of photo video couples, literally go for it. It's so smart. Or if you have a friend that's into it and y'all want to create some joint package, why not? If you want to train an intern, if you have video skills but you want to do the photography, literally do it. It's such a great way to like upsell and make more money per package. But yeah, you have to be into it because I personally know nothing about videography and do not care to know anything about videography. Okay, let's see. Best way to connect with wedding planners or pursue like networking. One of the things that I gave out during this talk about this question specifically was that in most bigger cities in America, there's going to be an organization called WIPA, W-I-P-A, I'm pretty sure, or maybe W-I-P-P-A. Every organization's WIPA is going to be kind of like independently ran, and so some might be really good and really aligned with where you're going in business, and some might not be. That's okay. I personally think it's totally worth a risk, but don't buy the full year annual membership. Buy the one-off tickets. Every networking event, even if it's not WIPA, if it's like Society Privé or Curated, which is a California one, most of them, I'm not speaking for all of them, most of them will have an option, whether it's an end-of-the-year gala or a mid-year event where non-members can pay extra to come and attend because that's their way of trying to get you to become a member. It's like a networking marketing tactic. And for you, then you can come without deciding to spend a big amount on an annual membership. I think the smartest thing to do if you're wanting to network and meet people and try and find the right people that you want to network with, go to as many one-off events as you can in like a year. And from there, you can decide if there's one group you specifically want to join. But if your goal is to network and meet people and make friends, I don't even know if you need to specifically join an annual membership of anything. Like, go to as many of the one-offs that you can. For me, I was so busy with business and working, it didn't make sense for me to have an annual membership with anyone because I wasn't available enough to attend enough events to make it work with it. So I loved just going to any of the one-offs that I could. And I think I went to maybe at least 8 black tie events 2 years ago in LA, and it was super fun. And I met a ton of people and made really great relationships. And had I stayed here, it would have been totally worth it. So yeah, I think the easiest place to start is maybe something like a WIPA. You could also buy a ticket to a wedding show if you just wanted to walk around and see new people in your area if you don't know any and it's been hard for you to meet people. Facebook groups are still a thing. I'm not on Facebook, so I'm not in them, but I hate Facebook. But if you like Facebook groups are still a thing. So go join a Facebook group. And if you're like, hey, Summer, I'm in a small town. This doesn't exist where I live. Okay, start it. Literally start it. I have started a group chat in Seattle, Tacoma. I have also started a group chat in LA. Both of these group chats have over 60 plus people, and sometimes these group chats hang out with each other. And the Seattle one birthed off of an event that I hosted, and then we just kept the group chat going, and now people are literally passing around work in it, asking for second shooters, asking for associates, saying, hey, do you want this wedding? I'm not available. So how freaking cool is that? Join something like summer school. There's a help wanted board in there as well, where people pass around work sometimes. Or I have an LA group chat too with over 60 people in it that I just started because I was like, hey, I want to like get coffee and edit with people. So if you live in a smaller town, literally just start one. Start your own little group and y'all can edit and get coffee together. You can just be an online group via an Instagram group chat or a group me or a Facebook group. But yeah, there's no shame in literally just starting it. And why not? Community is so fun. Friends are so fun. Literally go do it. What's stopping you? Okay, there's so many questions. Let's see. One of them, I'll answer 2 more before we run. So one of the questions was, have you ever been a preferred vendor with a venue? And I think probably and how? There is a venue I am/was and still, I'm pretty sure I still am a preferred venue with out in Hood River in Oregon. And that actually started because it ties back to the free work question. Because back in the day, I had an elopement client who, it wasn't like the best scenario. They didn't have a venue necessarily. We were just going to take some elopement-y photos, and that was really all. So I, on my own accord, reached out to this venue that had just started that I thought had an insane view. And I was like, hey guys, this is my couple. This is their story. They don't really have anywhere to get married, but we were just planning on going and taking nature photos. What are the odds you let me take some photos on your property instead for them? Because your property is beautiful and I'll give them to you guys. The venue literally said yes and said, hey, we'll just leave it unlocked. Go have some fun. Wild. But this venue was just getting started, and so was I. So we literally grew together, which is such a beautiful thing. I was supposed to shoot the owner's wedding back in the day. I say was supposed to because COVID canceled it and all the things. But I still have a beautiful relationship with these people, and they actually are also going to be, hopefully, maybe one of the hosts of summer camp. Ooh, summer camp. I literally forgot to mention that. I'm currently planning summer camp, and I have a call today with a venue that sleeps up to 35 people. Let's go. And I'm not going to say much more because if it doesn't work out, I don't want to get too excited. But either way, there will be a link to the wait list in the show notes and in the description. So go ahead and click down there, hop on the wait list because you don't want to miss it. Summer camp last year? What was that, last year? Yeah. Summer camp last year was so freaking fun. We had a chef. We had styled shoots. We had a pool. It was in Palm Springs. It was such a blast. But my original vision was always a little more campy. But because I got pregnant and we lived in LA, that wasn't really working out because I didn't really want to travel too far pregnant. Just life was more exhausting. So we had it in Palm Springs instead. And then I said, until George is a year old, we're not going to do a summer camp again, meaning this year. And this year, summer school launched. So next year, we're going to have at least 1, maybe 2 summer camps. I'm hoping for 2. I'm hoping for May and October. So mark your calendars. May and October, probably in the Pacific Northwest. And that's literally all I'm going to share for now. Join the wait list. If you aren't in summer school though, that's even more important because summer school members get first dibs at the tickets. And given how many members there currently are, I don't know if the tickets will even make it to the wait list. They might sell out just exclusively in summer school, the community. So make sure you go subscribe to summer school. As low as $33 a month and endless education and teachers from all over the world. So literally you might as well hop in. Also community. It's such a good place for community and learning from other people outside of even myself. But enough about that. I'm just so excited. Summer camp, if everything works out, is gonna be, I think, the wedding workshop of the year next year. That's what I'm going for. Yeah. If everything works out with the call that I have today we will quite frankly probably be sleeping on site of a wedding venue. How unique is that? That is going to be so fun. So yeah, I'm not going to say anything else. I don't want us all to get too excited because I'm already too excited, but definitely join that wait list. It's going to be so, so, so fun. Let's see the last question. Best way to build a stronger personal brand on Instagram. Someone asked that. And I went into almost a whole mindset spiel on answering this question. And I think that spiel is still so important and so valuable and so worth all of you hearing. It's that with building a personal brand, you could say all these tips and tricks, post 5 times on your stories and do XYZ and post 3 reels a week and make sure you're posting some carousels and make them educational while you're at it. You could literally say so many things, make them shareable, blah, 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 blah. Collaborate with other people, do some trial reels. Yeah, okay, we could try and do all these things, but I think step 1 is habit building. I think habit building is the key to success online. It's making Instagram almost a part of your everyday work life and life in general so that it no longer feels like this heavy-weighted, anxiety-ridden platform, but it instead feels like brushing your teeth. So I've asked people, does it scare you to answer your emails in the morning? You probably do that every morning. And they're like, no. One time someone said yes. And I was like, okay, we need to work on that. But normally they say, no, it doesn't scare me, Summer. So if it doesn't scare you to answer your emails, then why does it scare you to post? Because why can't we make posting like answering our emails? And they're like, yeah, fair. And I'm like, okay, so how do we make it a part of our everyday routines? Do we make it something where, when I do XYZ, I put that on my story. When I go to coffee, I'm going to share a photo. When I walk my dog, I'm going to share a photo. Or after I answer my emails, I'm going to put something in my stories. Or after this, I'm going to do this. And you just kind of ingrain it into who you are. And I think Instagram goes from a stressful thing to this part of who you are. And when it comes to building a personal brand, I think it makes it almost even more authentic because it is a part of your everyday life. And that anxiety and depression, I feel is stripped away from it when it's like that. Because it's a little more of a business thing than it is a piece of you, even though you're literally giving a piece of you. So quick tip would be to identify maybe 3 to 5 areas in your life. And you could call these content pillars that you think are interesting, that other people would find interesting, that maybe are wedding related, maybe are photography related, maybe aren't. Maybe they're just related to you and who you are as a person. Whether you're really into fashion, maybe you're going to share your outfit, a little selfie of you looking cool. Maybe you're into film cameras, something about film. Maybe you're into going out to coffee or thrifting. You can share all of these things when it comes to your story and putting your personality online. And you don't have to share every part of you. You don't need to give away everything. You need to have boundaries. So I think choosing kind of what those things are based off of what you're already doing in your personal life can be a really great way to build a stronger personal brand. So yeah, I hope all of you enjoyed this episode. There's literally more questions, but I don't want to keep going on too long. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you follow, subscribe, leave a rating or a review so that you can help me continue getting insane guests like we've been having on the podcast. Share this with your friends. That will literally mean the world to me. Or come DM me if you've been loving the podcast. I would love to hear some feedback from you. And as always, make sure you hop on over in Summer School, the community, the group that is growing and so fun, so many cool workshops. I'll go ahead and tell all of you right now that I can't remember the date off the top of my head. Pretty sure it's October 28th. You know what? Let's look it up before we go. Let's look it up in the calendar right now. Let's see. We have October. Yep. Oh, not the 28th, the 29th. October 29th at noon in Summer School, the community, we are having the Brand In, a personal branding workshop. And I literally just talked on personal branding. So I'm so interested to see what he has to say on it by Andrew Kerr, all the way out from the UK, an icon, a legend. Go ahead and go find him. So if you want to be in that workshop, again, as low as only $33 a month, you can join us and be a part of that workshop live inside of the Summer School platform. And there's even a little app you can download and stay engaged on the go. It's really fun. So yeah, go ahead, subscribe, join our workshop because that workshop is going to be so much fun. I'm so stoked. So yeah, I'll catch you guys soon and maybe see you in like a month or two for another solo episode. But yeah, hope you have a good day, a good week, and wish me all the good luck with moving because my life is about to be crazy. And stay tuned for Italy because Italy is coming up so soon and it will be all over my stories, I'm sure, because I've never been to Italy. Okay, that's all for now. Bye, guys.